Pension funds are always underfunded. They've made promises they can't keep. This goes for Europe, North America, and everywhere else in the world. The stock market rises, but the pensions do not. Well, there comes a time in which governments or companies need to make difficult decisions. The approval is given, and there goes your pension. You came here for the truth, so let me unveil that for you. Today we're going to look at the pension crisis that is going on today all across the world. I'm not going to show you the examples such as the governor of California stating during the next recession they will need to cut pensions. No. I'm going to show you examples that are happening right now. Let's begin with this. Cleveland-Cliffs closed its Canadian operations and filed for creditor protection in 2015 under the Companies Creditors Arrangement Act. With the pension plan underfunded, pensioners saw their payments cut by up to 25%. It happened, and this is the reality. You were promised something and you're not going to get it. This goes for places all around the world. I've shown you examples before, but I want to focus on just a handful today. Let me move on. When Tracy Shaw reached the final year of her 36-year career with HSBC, little did she know that her company pension would be reduced by almost a third. That's going to be a trend, and I'll show you more in a moment. Tracy, like many of the 51,000 people in the post-1974 Midland section of the HSBC Bank UK pension scheme, is subject to a clawback, a legal but regarded as largely unfair practice that allows employers to reduce the income workers receive from their company pensions when they reach state pension age. That's right, you were expecting, let's say, $1,000, you're only going to get $70. That's what they're doing. They promise one thing and they give you another. Many people depend on that. Many people are literally surviving because of that. And here we have more examples of the same thing happening over and over again. People are getting screwed over big time, whether it's by government, whether it is by these different corporations which have, they've worked for, in this case, 36 years, putting money into the system, hoping that they're going to get what they were told at the end, and then they get the short end of the stick. As a result, many will have hundreds or even thousands of pounds taken away from their pensions, with some losing as much as half of the value of their basic state pension. This is very serious, and this information is not being covered, and it is quite interesting, I must say, that I am ridiculed every single time I make videos like this simply because people are too afraid to face the truth. But I know that many people on here, 95% of the people on here, come here because they are willing to face the truth, and it hurts. The truth really does hurt. If you're expecting this pension, if you're relying on this pension, and it gets cut, trust me, it's going to hurt. Okay, let me move on. Harry Van Alstyne and his wife Susan used to go out to dinner every Saturday night until his pension was cut by 29% last October. Now they're thinking about selling their home, skipping their annual trip, and they've already dipped into their savings. This is not a retirement they planned for. He worked for 30 years as a truck driver for UPS. He was promised $5,000 a month by the New York State Teamsters Conference Pension and Retirement Fund. I hated the job from day one, but I stayed with it because I was promised a secure pension. Big problem. So in this case here, another third, essentially, being cut. So we're not seeing cuts of 2%, 3%, 5%, 8%. We're seeing 1/3, 29, 25. Okay? Very serious cuts. some union retirees could see their pension benefits cut by 90%. I don't know if they're going to get away with this one, but to suggest it is quite insane. This is an unfortunate incident. It's an article out of Forbes, essentially. This retiree getting $8,000 annually will now be getting less than $1,000. That is the danger if Congress doesn't act soon to shore up the troubled multi-employer union pension plans and the PBGC's insurance program that backs them up. It goes into the details of, this example here. I just wanted to show you it's happening. Okay? And then this one more example. Pensions may increase after being reduced for several years. When Wabush Mines announced early in 2014 that they are idling the mine, many employees could see the writing on the wall. Later that fall, the company announced that they were closing permanently. All right? Looking at this here, for several years, pensions were reduced and medical benefits were cut off. And then they had to go into the whole court process and so on to change that. But look at this. Pensions reduced, benefits cut off. A lot of people would struggle big time if that's going to happen to them. And people need to realize this could happen to anyone. As I mentioned in the introduction, we had the governor of California specifically stating that, and they do it on purpose. They're told what to say. Next recession, we're going to have to cut pensions. Get ready for it, everyone, because it's coming. Don't go anywhere. Make sure you watch part 2 of this video. I'm going to show you why pensions are always underfunded.